What's going on? My name is Outsomniac, and in this video I'm going to be talking about the Swordmaster build in Amazon's upcoming game New World. The Swordmaster build is the first option for players that are playing with the sword and shield, and I would describe this build generally as an all-rounder build. So it's not super high on DPS, but it is more tanky, and it's a great way to get started with the game. If you're just kind of interested in trying something out, just reasonably progressing to get a feel for a game, this could be a really good starting point. And it's not a punishing game. You can always change your build just kind of in the beginning of the game. It's not that big of a deal. You won't lose significant progress to just swap it out. So this could be a really good starting point for getting a feel. So this build is based on the sword weapon, so you can pick up a sword and a shield, and this build has three main attacks. They're Whirling Blade, Reverse Stab, and Leaping Strike. And actually the moveset for this build is pretty satisfying. It has a nice momentum to it. The moves combo pretty well together. So Whirling Blade is like a AoE whirlwind attack. You just spin around with your sword. It does 145% weapon damage to all enemies within 2 meters circularly, radially. The second attack is Reverse Stab, which does 175% weapon damage. These are actually pretty big numbers, but the cooldown is a little bit longer. So Reverse Stab is just a single target, but I think it'll cleave if it hits a couple enemies, but it's not really an AoE attack. And then the third attack is Leaping Strike, and this attack is like it's a jump attack, so you jump 6 meters, which is a pretty reasonable distance, and then deal 135% weapon damage. So these are the three main attacks, and the reason why they combo well together is because you can Leaping Strike in, and then Whirlwind to follow up with a Reverse Stab. It doesn't really matter, Reverse Stab or Whirlwind, whichever order. But Whirlwind would just be good if you're jumping in and hitting multiple people to get it on cooldown, because you'll be doing more damage that way. If you just have a single target, it could be better to put Reverse Stab on cooldown first, just because it does a little bit more damage, but it's a subtle point. Yeah, this is the basic moveset, is these three, but the rest of the feel for this build, I'm looking at the ultimate ability here. If you go deep into Sword Mastery build, the ultimate ability is Leadership, which while holding a sword, all group members' damage is increased by 10%. That's actually a pretty good boost, so I could see for bigger groups, if there's whatever the raid group size will be, having a Sword Master in the group, just like an all-arounder for the buff of a 10% damage boost, is really nice. Actually, I could see this being a core rating spot, having one Swordmaster, depending on how groups will go. I haven't really seen much rating information at this point, but just looking at the number, 10% boost for group members, I think that's a pretty cool perk. So some other things about this build, if you do heavy attacks, you can do more damage from a talent point. Final attack in a chain will do more damage and slow. So it's pretty robust around this build. You can reduce some armor, and if you block, you get Empower, which increases your damage, stacking up to 5 times, 15% boost, which makes this build kind of a hybrid, right? Like it's tanky, some of the mechanics play into each other. Sword crit chance increased by 10%, move 33% faster while blocking. Reverse Stab has Grit, making the attack unstoppable, so it's like a hyper armor effect, dealing 10% more damage to slowed foes. Whirling Blade, reducing cooldown for 10% for each enemy hit, so if you're cleaving, you get cooldown back. And then while your health is full, dealing 15% more damage. On successful hit, Reverse Stab, all sword cooldowns reduced by 25%. So yeah, so this is kind of the general feel for this build. It kind of combos into itself, and having a shield is going to make you a lot more durable. There are some talents that are increasing your damage reduction, and some of them are increasing your damage, which is just why I'm saying this is an all-rounder build. It actually has really good mobility as well, between Leaping Strike for the moving 6 meters, and then also on a crit, getting 20% haste, increasing your movement speed, and then you also have the talent point for increasing crit chance. Also mobility 33% faster for blocking, and you can also slow enemies. So you can see like this build it really is comboing really well. I think that this is a really nice bread and butter build. And like I said, the three moves, they just kind of blend into each other really nicely. This is a pretty cool build to try out. And I could see a raiding spot for it, maybe one, depending on how raids are structured. But yeah, I recommend trying this one out. In my next videos, I'll be talking about some more of the builds in New Worlds and leading up to my favorite build. So if you don't want to miss those videos, then hit that subscribe button. Thank you all for watching. Have a great day.